The link between organic eating and mental clarity. Let us dive into the fascinating world of how the food on your plate transforms into the thoughts in your head. Most of us have heard the old saying that we are what we eat, but rarely do we take a moment to consider how deeply that applies to the brain. When we talk about organic eating, we are not just talking about expensive grocery store labels or a trendy lifestyle choice. We are looking at a fundamental shift in how we fuel the most complex organ in the body. The foundation of the brain-food connection. The human brain is an energy hog. It accounts for about 20% of your daily caloric burn, despite making up only a tiny fraction of your body weight. Because it's constantly working to regulate your mood and focus and basic survival, it requires a steady stream of high-quality fuel. This is where the distinction between conventional and organic foods starts to matter. If you imagine your brain as a high-performance engine, you can think of food as the fuel. If you put low-grade fuel filled with impurities into a luxury sports car, the engine will eventually sputter and stall. The same logic applies to your cognitive function. Conventional farming often relies on synthetic pesticides and herbicides and fertilizers. While these chemicals help mass-produce crops, they often leave behind residues that can interfere with our internal chemistry. Organic eating prioritizes natural processes. It focuses on soil health and biodiversity in the absence of synthetic chemicals. By choosing organic, you are essentially opting for a cleaner burn. You're giving your brain the nutrients it needs without the chemical baggage that can lead to that heavy feeling often called brain fog. Understanding the mystery of brain fog. We have all been there. You sit down at your desk and try to focus on a simple task, but your mind feels like it is wrapped in a thick woolly blanket. You cannot find the right words, and your processing speed feels like an old dial-up internet connection. This is brain fog. While it is not a medical diagnosis, it is a very real symptom of systemic inflammation and oxidative stress. Research suggests that many of the additives found in non-organic processed foods can trigger an inflammatory response. When the body is busy fighting off perceived threats from artificial dyes or preservatives, it has less energy to devote to high-level thinking. Organic foods, by contrast, are typically richer in antioxidants. These are the little warriors that fight oxidative stress and protect your neurons from damage. The power of phytonutrients. One of the coolest things about organic produce is that it often contains higher levels of phytonutrients. These are natural compounds produced by plants to protect themselves from pests and diseases. Because organic plants have to work a little harder to defend themselves, without the help of synthetic sprays, they often produce more of these protective compounds. When we eat these plants, we inherit their defenses. Many of these phytonutrients have been linked to improved memory and faster learning and better mood regulation. For instance, organic berries are often packed with more anthocyanins than their conventional counterparts. These compounds have a direct effect on the blood flow to the brain, which is a key component of staying sharp during a long work day. The gut-brain axis. You might be wondering what your stomach has to do with your thoughts. As it turns out, the answer is almost everything. The gut is often called the second brain because it contains a massive network of neurons and produces a huge portion of the neurotransmitters that regulate our emotions. Serotonin, which is the chemical responsible for feelings of happiness and well-being, is primarily produced in the gut. If your digestive system is irritated by glyphosate or other common pesticides found in conventional farming, the production of these feel-good chemicals can be disrupted. This creates a ripple effect that travels up the vagus nerve directly to your head. Organic eating supports a healthy microbiome. By avoiding the antibiotic residues sometimes found in non-organic animal products and the pesticide residues on plants, you allow your beneficial gut bacteria to thrive. A happy gut sends happy signals to the brain. This leads to a sense of calm and mental clarity that is hard to achieve when your internal ecosystem is out of balance. Breaking down the nutrient density argument. There's been a lot of debate over whether organic food is actually more nutritious. While the levels of basic vitamins like vitamin C might be similar, the real difference lies in the mineral content and the secondary metabolites. Organic farming practices focus on building rich soil. Since plants get their nutrients from the earth, the quality of the soil dictates the quality of the carrot. When you eat organic spinach or kale, you are often getting a more concentrated dose of magnesium and zinc. Magnesium is a heavy hitter when it comes to mental health. It helps regulate the stress response and promotes relaxation. If you are deficient in magnesium, you might feel anxious or scattered. By choosing organic options, you are ensuring that every bite counts toward your daily mental wellness goals. The pesticide problem and cognitive health. Let us talk about the elephant in the room, which is pesticides. Many of the chemicals used in large-scale farming are neurotoxins by design. They are meant to scramble the nervous systems of insects to stop them from eating the crops. While humans are much larger than bugs, there is growing concern about the cumulative effect of these low-level exposures over a lifetime. Studies have shown that children exposed to higher levels of organophosphate, a common type of pesticide, may have lower IQ scores and shorter attention spans. For adults, this exposure can manifest as irritability and memory lapses and a general sense of mental fatigue. By switching to organic, you significantly reduce your daily intake of these substances. This gives your liver a break and allows your brain to function without having to navigate a chemical minefield. The role of healthy fats. If you eat organic meat or dairy, you are also getting a different profile of fatty acids. Organic grass-fed beef and dairy products typically contain higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids compared to grain-fed conventional options. The brain is about 60% fat. It needs those high-quality omega-3s to build healthy cell membranes and facilitate communication between neurons. If you are fueling your brain with the pro-inflammatory omega-6 fats found in many processed and conventional foods, you might find yourself feeling sluggish. Organic options help balance this ratio, which is essential for maintaining a quick wit and a steady mood. Sustainable energy without the crash. Have you ever noticed how a meal from a fast food chain makes you feel great for 20 minutes and then leaves you wanting a nap? That is the result of blood sugar spikes and drops. Many non-organic processed foods are loaded with hidden sugars and refined grains that wreak havoc on your insulin levels. Organic whole foods tend to be less processed. When you eat an organic apple with the skin on or a bowl of organic oats, you are getting a slow release of energy. This stable blood sugar level is the secret sauce for sustained mental clarity. Instead of riding a roller coaster of focus and fatigue, you get a steady stream of fuel that keeps you productive from morning until night. The psychological benefit of intentional eating. There's also a psychological component to organic eating that we cannot ignore. When you make the conscious choice to buy organic, you are practicing a form of mindfulness. You are taking an active role in your health and showing yourself that your well-being matters. This sense of agency can actually lower stress levels. When we feel like we are in control of our environment and our health, we are less likely to fall into the traps of anxiety and overwhelm. The act of preparation becomes a ritual of self-care. Whether you are washing organic greens or roasting organic root vegetables, you are engaging in a process that nourishes both the body and the soul. Practical tips for transitioning to organic. You do not have to overhaul your entire kitchen overnight to see the benefits. In fact, a gradual approach is often more sustainable. Start with the things you eat the most. If you drink coffee every single morning, switching to organic beans is a great first step. Coffee is one of the most heavily treated crops in the world, and those chemicals can definitely contribute to those caffeine jitters. Another smart strategy is to follow the guide of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. This list helps you identify which fruits and vegetables have the highest pesticide loads. Focus your organic budget on things like strawberries and spinach and kale, where the benefit of going organic is the highest. For items with thick skins like avocados or onions, you can often get away with conventional versions if you are looking to save money. The impact on sleep quality. We cannot talk about mental clarity without mentioning sleep. Sleep is when your brain does its housekeeping. It flushes out toxins and consolidates memories. If your body is stressed by chemical additives or poor quality fats, your sleep architecture can suffer. Many people report that after switching to a primarily organic diet, they fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed. This is likely due to the reduction in systemic inflammation and the better balance of minerals like magnesium. When you wake up with a clear head, you are already miles ahead in the race for productivity and focus. Long-term brain health and longevity. While the immediate boost in focus is wonderful, the long-term benefits are even more compelling. Protecting your brain from oxidative stress and neurotoxicity today is an investment in your future self. We are seeing more links between lifestyle factors and long-term cognitive decline. By feeding your brain a clean and nutrient-dense diet now, you are building cognitive reserve. This is the brain's ability to improvise and find alternate ways of getting a job done. The more you nourish your neurons with organic whole foods, the more resilient your mind becomes as you age. Final thoughts on the organic mindset. At the end of the day, mental clarity is about more than just avoiding brain fog. It is about feeling vibrant and present and capable of handling whatever life throws your way. The link between organic eating and cognitive function is backed by science and felt in the daily lives of those who make the switch. It is not about perfection. It is about making better choices when you can. Every organic meal is a vote for your health and a step toward a sharper, more focused mind. Your brain is your most valuable asset. Treating it with the respect it deserves by fueling it with the cleanest, most natural food possible is one of the best moves you can make